Good morning, KMA friends, family, students, people, anybody listening to this. Happy Monday, and getting into a great Thanksgiving week. Uh, I don't know when you'll actually be listening to this, but if you're listening to this live or close to live, then we are going to have some amazing class here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at Krav Maga Martial Arts, and then we are going to be off for Thanksgiving with our families the rest of the week. I'm sure I'll be in here a few times making some things happen, but that's the plan. Anyways, what I wanted to talk to you about today are the P words. And specifically, these P words are words that I believe are fundamental, important, indeed critical to our happiness, to achievement, to fulfillment, to all those things. And but before I want to explain a little bit about the story that brought me to this particular meditation, because as you know, if you follow me for a while, as is my custom, I get thinking on a thing, and then the next thing you know, it becomes one of my meditations on mastery that make it to my writing and or my communication with you here. If you're taking the time to listen to this, thank you. It means that you find some value, or that you just found me. Either way, I hope that I provide some value for you here today. What happened was, it actually started on Veterans Day. I was on my Veterans Day ride. And when I go on my Veterans Day ride, I stop and I talk to lots of veterans along the way. And I was talking to this one particular veteran who he had an interesting story, because he had retired. He had retired from the military. Then he had exited from military service. I don't think he did the actual full 20 years or whatever, but he had left military service. He had started a career he started a career with local government in Hernando County, and he had completed that and retired. And the part of the story that's relevant is he retired and he traveled and he went, lived near his family up north for a while. And he said, I played all the golf. I did the thing with the family. I traveled all over the place. He goes, and I got so darn bored that I came back and I took this, job doing the same thing I was doing for government, but basically for this resort. And I'm loving life. And so that was the beginning of the thought. And then I was with my best friend. We've known each other since we were young kids, Paul. And Paul's a very accomplished and successful CPA. He's a professional and great, successful person. And in the conversation the other night, we talked about how neither one of us has plans to ever really retire. I mean, what you're really working towards, of course, is time and money freedom, so that you can, do the things that you want to do for the people that you care about, with the people that you care about, so that there is a life beyond our professional lives, of course. But we never really want to retire. And we agreed on that, and we were laughing about it and talking about, what it'll look like on the other end. And it got me thinking. I was looking. When I get thinking, I'm often looking for the principle that defines whatever the thing is. Because as I teach here, I teach my students that every attitude has that every technique we have has principles attached to it, and that when the technique fails, if you understand the principle, you can still find the solution. And when we're looking for principles, which is of course our first keyword, we also are able to identify patterns. And patterns are so important because we can identify patterns in our own behavior and our own thoughts and our own beliefs. We can identify patterns in other people's thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors, and in the world around us. And patterns help us to make a difference, right? Like we can modify our own behaviors and reactions and actions and all the things, to include the next P word, based on patterns. But then, and I'm going to get to the P words that actually apply to what this message is about, because I said, okay, how come people like Paul and I, well, the question was really, how come people like Paul and I don't ever want to retire? How come some do? How come so many, when they do, find themselves less than fulfilled? And what is the commonality? What does it mean for us to inform our own decision making and our own plans going forward? And I gave away the first one. I think the first one is planning. And I think planning in all the ways, whether we're talking about our personal life, our professional life, our relationships, our finances, our fitness, and all the things. First of all, we have to plan. And we have to make a plan that we actually, you set goals, and then you create the plan, and you have to actually believe you're going to negotiate the plan, because I believe that that's step one to happiness, achievement, and fulfillment, is actually creating the plans, because the plans let us know that we're in control, that we're not just we're not just flying about and allowing things to happen to us. I believe the next P that's relevant in this conversation is progress. And because I believe that we are hardwired that way. We want to do better. We want to see progress on our plans in the direction we're going. So we need progress, and it's one of the things that very often is missing once we decide to retire. And then of course I say of course because by now you've probably figured it out. Purpose is really the biggest one. I believe it's why so many people, what so many people are missing once they retire is they've stopped on the purpose. I know it was the case with many of my military friends when they left service, and I'm so grateful for the amazing purpose that we have here at Krav Maga Martial Arts. Like, I believe in our mission, and I believe in our vision, and I see the positive impact that we make on people's lives, and that purpose is one of the driving forces that, see, I never feel like I have to go to work. I feel like I get to go. I'm like, when Monday comes for me, I'm ready. I'm ready to get in here and get on it because of purpose, which leads to the last P, which is passion. Like, there's a popular thing now that it's about you have to find your passion, and I believe that's true. But I believe that the reason it eludes so many is because they're missing the other ones: the planning, the progress, and especially the purpose. And I believe it's when you're living a life of purpose, of planning, progress, and purpose, that you discover the passion. So that's what I got to say today. Make it a beautiful week. If you're in town, we hope to see you here. Prepare to live, empower to lead. I'm Shan Steve.